Hi everyone, Cendril here. Welcome back to Fire Emblem the Sacred Stones. We're actually not starting with my usual intro, What's Become here, where we start with the introduction to the next area, because there's something I want to go over. Here in Narub River, after chapter 17, there is an armory and a shop. I'll just send somebody in there. The armory has killing weapons. As you can see, Killing Edge, Killer Lance, Killer Axe, and Killer Bow. It does not have the Reaver weapons, but it does have the killing weapons. So there's that. I bought some extra. I just sent Renak in because of course he has the silver card for half price, as you can see, and bought stuff. There's also longbows here, which is very interesting. Just in case you want a longbow. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to buy a spare one just because I have bought quite a few killer weapons. Both off-screen and on-screen last chapter. And I've kind of divvied out some of the killing weapons. Just about everybody's carrying one now, except Seth, who doesn't need it as much. He has that rune sword, which is interesting, and we have a couple of other rune swords as well. Some spare ones. But other than that, I've kind of divvied out a killing edge to people. And in the shop, Thunder, Elfire, Shine, Divine, Flux, Luna is here, which is interesting. There is a Recover staff here. Restores all HP to allies in adjacent spaces. So, every major direction, you know, up, down, left, right, not diagonals, just up, down, left, right, will get all their HP back. It doesn't sound useful because all the people have to be around the healer for it to work. But I've had this bail me out in some games, this type of staff. Quite a few times. I'm not gonna buy one here. I don't think I'll need it for the Sacred Stones, especially with the way the party kind of ended up. But I personally like the staff, whereas a lot of people don't. So, that's just my take. Elixir, Pure Water, Antitoxin, the usual there. Buy whatever you want. So I was wrong about the end of chapter 19. But during chapter 19, we can still go to the secret shop, and we'll end up buying some things there. But you can buy killer weapons here, so pick up your fill. I think killer weapons are always some of the most dangerous weapons in Fire Emblem. To me. Other than like the super strong weapons, when it comes to buyable weapons, or weapons that just aren't the super special you only get one of, I think killer weapons are some of the best. Again, that's just me. Let's go ahead and head to Nalaris Peak. The group sets off in search of Grotto's elusive Imperial Prince Leon. Innes has ordered Freilian troops to aid in the hunt. The troops return with news that Leon has moved north. The group's search for Leon leads them to Mount Nalaris in the heart of Darkling Woods. The scorching heat and sulfur stench render the area unfit for human habitation. Endless numbers of Gorgon eggs stud the forbidding landscape. Chapter 18, Two Faces of Evil.
Rochelle, may I ask your advice? What is it, Eirika? There's no need to be so formal. It's about Leon. My brother was right. Leon's been possessed by the Demon King. He's no longer the Leon I once knew. But I can't help feeling there must be some way to bring him back. Please help me, Rochelle. I want to save him. Roston is the spiritual heart of Magville. They keep the ancient lore. You're their princess. You must know something about the demons of legend. Is there anything that can save Leon? I'm so sorry, Eirika. To To the best of my knowledge, there's no way to aid him. That can't be! There must be something! Any clue, no matter how slight! Our oldest legends tell us just this. Only one person has ever been able to shake off the Demon King's domination. Rustin's founder, Saint Latona the Sure-Hearted, shattered his fetters. If one possesses a strength of will beyond that of normal men, only then can one throw off the shackles of the Demon King. But you saw it for yourself, Eirika, with your own 2 eyes. Your friend Leon's body has already been claimed by the Demon King. Once it's gone that far, there's nothing that can be done. When the Demon King takes over someone, he devours his spirit, his very soul. Even if his hold on Leon's body could be released, that body would have no soul. There's no power in Rustin, not even the sacred stone, that could perform so great a miracle as to restore a shattered soul. But, Leon... Eirika, I understand how you feel, but the prince is gone. The Leon you knew no longer exists. It's more important now that you care for yourself. If we pursue the Demon King, we're likely to suffer for it. I want you to return to Rustin Palace and rest yourself. Thank you, La Rochelle. However, I must stay with the company. I have to believe there's something I can do to help him. Leon was always so kind. He wanted nothing more than to help people. It's too terrible to picture him imprisoned by the Demon King. Imprisoned, with no hope of salvation.
This way! The enemy went into the recesses of this valley.
Brother, do you smell something?
Smell?
Yes, an unpleasant odor, like sulfur. It's emanating from this valley.
Are those eggs?
Gorgon eggs. There are so many. Brother, the eggs! They've started to hatch!
No, he's led us into a trap! Watch out! Everyone, steer clear of those eggs! We're gonna be doing the exact opposite. Welcome to Chapter 18, everyone. I'm probably just going to go over the map this episode. I think I could get it done in one episode if I was really fast. Because this chapter is not that hard. I actually faltered on this chapter the very first time I played the game. Because I just took too long. The name of the game here is Speed. And moving around. Here are Gorgon eggs. They have 5 HP to start with. After you get close to them, or within a certain radius, I think it is, or it's after so many turns. I don't know exactly the mechanic on this, of when they start to hatch. But you'll know when it starts, because they begin to gain HP. They also turn a lighter color. Once they start hatching, at the end of every turn, they will gain, or the beginning of every turn, I should say. Because I believe the eggs go first and then the monsters. The eggs will gain 5 HP. Once they reach whatever the max HP is, so here's 25, 20, 15, 10, whenever they reach that, they hatch into a monster. And I believe they hatch into a Gorgon. Which is this because they're Gorgon eggs, right? That would make the most sense. They become Gorgons. Commonly and cursed, these creatures turn all who behold them into stone. Gorgons have high magic and decent resistance, low everything else. But they do have high magic and good resistance. The magic makes them dangerous because they have this move called Demon Surge. Has 11 might, 80 hit, and it weighs 10. It actually does not weigh them down. Shadow Shot will, if they get this move, it is a long-range attack, 3 to 10, Works like the tomes, has weight 20, a lot of might, but you're only going to swing once because it's going to weigh you down. But just with Demon Surge, they have 27 attack. For units with no res, like Franz, it could really hurt. If they hit. They don't hit very often, but they can. Units with high resistance will laugh and have a really good time on this stage. If I was using Arthur, like I'm using in Ephraim's route, he makes very short work of this place because, one, he typically has high resistance, and two, these are all monsters. Which means if he's a bishop, or if you just have any bishop on the team, if you have a bishop with the Slayer skill, guess what? You're going to do a ton of damage to all of these units. Easily. Plus, the ones that cast magic, it all counts as dark magic. Evil Eye counts as dark magic. Demon Surge counts as dark magic, which means you have the advantage weapon-wise. So there's that too. Just bishops run roughshod over this stage. So that's how the eggs work. Once they start hatching, every turn they're going to get 5 HP until they hit max HP and then hatch into a Gorgon that can actually hurt you. But until they hatch, they're defenseless. You just go up and damage them. And if you get rid of the 5 HP or however much HP they're at, they die, giving the unit 50 experience. No matter what. Tana can kill one and get 50 experience, even though she's level 8 and class changed. They just give 50 experience. That makes this level really good to get just a rush of EXP, because there are quite a few eggs across the stage, as you can see. This stage is also pretty notorious for another trick that you can do. For those of you that saw my Fire Emblem 7 LP, you may remember the mine trick that I showed off, where you used a mine and then you could take control of all the enemies for one turn. There is a variation of the mine trick, a version you could say, in this game. And I'm going to do a better job explaining it here than I did in Ephraim's route, because I kind of had to remind myself how it worked. The way it works is, an enemy has to stop on one of these squares. These brightly glowing ones here, for example, count as fire spots, and if a unit ends their turn there, they're going to take 10 damage. And they're kind of scattered throughout the stage. The way the mine trick works is, let's say I had a unit here, or let's say here. The gargoyle here comes up, swings, and is standing on one of these spaces. After it finishes its attack, but before the next enemy unit goes, you reset the game. It has a kind of precise timing, but once you get it down, you should have it. Once you do that, you load the game back up, and you will have control of all the monsters, just like you did in Fire Emblem 7 with the mine trick. Now, we can take the mine trick a few steps further in this game. The next step is you can get monster weapons, such as this Demon Surge, or the Evil Eye. The way that works is you do the mine trick, and then the enemy walks up and deposits the move in the supply. Which means they'll have to be close to Eirika in this case. Or if you're playing Ephraim's route, it would be Ephraim. Whoever your main lord is, whoever has access to the supply. So we do the mine trick, and the Gorgon could deposit the Demon Surge. I believe anybody can use it, but the game can screw up if you give it to a unit that typically can't use dark magic. So shamans can use it fine. The interesting thing is, as long as it doesn't have a rank, like you see how it has Dark Dash, unlike our weapons, or weapons have Lance D, if it has that dash, it can actually be used by Mira, which is really good. You could save the Dragonstone. Now just remember, Mira won't get the bonuses that the Dragonstone gives her unless she's actually using it. But it's a way to save Dragonstone uses if you want to go that route, which could be very useful. Let me quickly sidetrack and go over Stone, which is here. It has a range of 1 to 3, which is very interesting because not a lot of things have a range of 1 to 3. It's typically 2 to 3 or 3 to 10. But Stone has a range of 1 to 3. It has a lower hit percentage than Demon Surge, 65. But what happens is if it actually hits, targets are turned to stone for a while. It's kind of like Sleep, where the unit just doesn't do anything. And it lasts quite a long time. So make sure you bring your restore staffs. Hope they don't hit. That stone doesn't hit. Again, units with high resistance will have a better shot at that, I think. Or dodge, just better dodge, I should say. There's the stone attack itself doesn't do any damage. But it's just the fact that it takes a unit out of combat for a while. You could deposit stone and use it. It's 5 uses. There's the second thing you can do with the mind tricks. That's kind of, we'll just go up. The biggest thing and most complicated thing you can do with the mind trick is you can actually repair your weapons. Now this is the most complicated step of the mind trick. And when I say weapons, I mean anything. You could repair Siglinde. You could repair... Who else has a really fancy weapon? I don't think anybody else has a really fancy weapon on them right now. You could repair the Brave Axe. I mean anything. Anything that has uses. So, staffs, items, any weapon. Excalibur, for example. We could repair it. This is probably the only chance you're going to get to do this during the story that I can remember. The way this trick works is you basically have to do the mind trick twice plus some other things. Step 1 is Eirika has to be next to an egg. This one's a pretty good candidate. Maybe this one, because she could ride up to it from here. She just has to be next to an egg. Probably one that's going to take a while to hatch. Then you do the mind trick. You know, the unit has to... Enemy unit swings on on one of these spaces that's lit up. You reset and you do the mind trick. After that, the egg has to take things from the supply. So basically take whatever you want repaired. Now be careful, because the very first item on the list will be gone. So don't put anything important there. And basically at the top of the list. So for example, for Tana, it would be this javelin. Whatever's at the top of their item list will be lost forever. So put something there you don't care about, like a lightning tome or an iron sword, you know, just a vole. Put a vole there. Just something you don't care about, because it's going to be gone. In the other 4 slots, put whatever you want repaired, because those will actually be repaired. Now, you can even repair Mira's Dragonstone with this. So keep that in mind, but there is some, there is a danger with that I'll go over here in a little bit. So do that. The egg takes whatever items you want to repair, and at the top of the list is something you don't care about. The other 4 are the things you want repaired. Then, go about the game, then continue the game. Once the egg hatches, you will notice that all of the items, that the top item will be gone, and the other 4 items will have full uses. Super cool. But now you gotta get the weapons back. So you do the mind trick again to get control back of the enemies, and then put them all back into the supply. Boom, you have 4 weapons, items, staffs, whatever, back at full uses. Now there is a danger with a few things. Gorgons have an A rank in dark magic, so if you repair a dark magic tome that they can use, they'll be able to hit you with it. And it will hurt, because they have a pretty good magic stat. Also, it's weird, but just because this is how they put all of the monster, quote, monster weapons, unquote, in just one category. So the Demon Surge is in the exact same category as the Evil Eye. Now, Mira's Dragonstone actually falls into that. Which means, yes, the Gorgon could hit you with Mira's Dragonstone. With the buffs it gives and everything. So be careful about that. But there you go, it is a way to repair any item that has uses, including Mira's Dragonstone, which you typically cannot repair. And that is the complete complete mind trick, everything you can do with it that I know of anyway. Really, and the only reason I call it the mind trick, even though there is no mind, is just because that's what it's basically the same process in a way as the mind trick in Fire Emblem 7. Just without the mind. And with them just having to be on a specific spot. Now, you can actually do this glitch whenever. It just has a really, really low chance of happening. It's super slim, but you can do it. So after an enemy swings at you, just reset the game, and there is a very, very small chance you get control of all the enemies. On the tiles, it has, if you get the timing down right, it works almost every single time once you get the timing down. So there you go. And you need the Gorgon eggs to get the to repair the items. So that's why I wanted to go over this now. That's about everything. I'm just gonna make this a short episode, and I said this in Ephraim's route too, either the same day or probably the next day, instead of there being a gap, you know, that I usually have a day gap. Like every other day I put up a Fire Emblem episode. These might be back-to-back days. That way you get some action instead of just me rambling about the map and the very cool but tough to do mind trick in this game. I'm probably not going to show it off because I don't want to I don't want to go through the effort to do it, basically. Besides that, if you're not doing it and you're just running through the stage is easy. It's just to get EXP. Units go up, beat the eggs before they hatch, they get 50 EXP. The only other things here to hurt you are a couple of gargoyles. This one has a steel lance, this one has a toxin lance and a javelin. A couple of mogvols with their evil eye 1 to 2. But they don't have much attack power. 7, and Evil Eye only has 7 might, so 14. Anybody with a decent resistance is taking nothing. The stone attack can be very dangerous. Watch out for them. That one has it. This one has the shadow shot that I went over. This gargoyle has an axe reaver, and here's the boss. The boss does move, by the way. Demon Surge, and it also has stone. It is just a bigger Gorgon. That's all it is. It's exactly like the counterparts, except with more levels and better stats. 18 magic, 19 resistance, so a lot of resistance. 10 defense, though. Demon Surge and stone. So with the extra magic, and it has 44 HP, it has a lot more HP. The Gorgons count, but really it's still not that hard of a boss unless the unit attacking it gets hit with stone. The thing about the Gorgon level here, and the Gorgons in general, is I believe they count as promoted units, so just about anybody that kills them will get a good chunk of EXP. Probably not as much as they just beat the egg, so try to take out the eggs before they hatch, and just get free EXP. Anybody that kills this Gorgon, though, probably getting a full level. It's a promoted unit. It's level 15. It's a really high level. you'll more than likely get a full level out of it. You'll get 100 EXP. And that's everything to this map. You'll see just how easy it is as long as you keep pushing forward next time. And like I said, I've actually died here once, though. The very first time I played this game, because I didn't go fast enough. I just waited around for the eggs to hatch, and then got overwhelmed. That is not a smart idea, because I thought you would get more if they hatch and actually beat up the Gorgon, and maybe you do, but just beat up the eggs, you get tons of EXP anyway. It's just better that way. Just trust me on that. And it will make this map so much easier. The only difficulty you're going to have on this map, really, for the most part, is if a unit gets turned to stone, or you're trying to do the mine glitch, or the repair item glitch. But again, you'll see all that next time. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you had a lot of fun as I go over the mine. And I'm sure you can find YouTube videos on it, so you can actually see it for yourself. But I'm not going to be doing it. I hope I went over it and it makes sense. Again, I went over it a lot better than I did on Ephraim's route. Just because now I've remembered all the steps to it. This will probably be the team I go with. I might put up Renak. I don't need him here. There's nothing to steal. And take, I don't know, maybe Soleil or somebody. High movement units will do extremely well here. I might take Serene. I did that in Ephraim's route, I think. I may have taken somebody else. I don't remember. By the way, even though this is an S-rank tome, I still think the Gorgon can use it. Even though they only have A in Shadow. That might be a glitch, but I think they can. So be careful. So I have to say about that. If you're doing that glitch, just be careful. The Gorgon could hit you with either the Dragonstone or Dark Magic. Any Dark Magic, I believe. But I'll probably replace Renak with somebody, just because I really don't need him here. But then we'll go with the usual team: Eirika, Larishel, Garrick, Ewan, Amelia, Ross, Franz, Marissa, Tana, Seth, Nami, and like I said, maybe Soleil. I might take Renak anyway, just because. But Tana's gonna have a field day here. One last note before I end the episode: you cannot fly in this valley space. I don't know why that is, but you can't. You can go, well, you can go a little bit, but you can't cross it. So even your flyers will have to go around somewhat. Be careful about that. But basically the plan is Tana's going to fly over here and take out these eggs, and it's not going to be a big issue, and everybody else is just going to rush forward this way. Just about everybody else. I'll send a few other units over here to take these out. Just divide and conquer the eggs. The eggs here, and get them before they hatch. And then you've basically won. Again, I feel like this chapter is just to get EXP. It's just free EXP for your units before the next chapter, which will be a fun one to go over when we get there. Until the next episode, again, thanks for watching. Hope you had a lot of fun. I'm Cendril 9. Remember to shoot for the stars, and take care, everyone.